You are.
Keep your mouth shut.
Okay, good evening, everybody. It is 6 o'clock, so we're going to get started here for the January 27th Planning Development and Zoning Commission meeting. We'll start with roll call. Ryan Miller, that's me. Kyle Maraskin.
Here.
Marianne Atkinson is not here with us this evening. Kenneth Haynes.
Here.
Christy Kennard.
Here.
Dolores Martin.
Here.
And William Richardson.
Here.
And if I can get you to stand for the pledge, please. Thank you. Okay, so any public comment cards for tonight? No? If there's anybody here to meet their meeting requirement for any of the city boards, if I can just get you to come up to the microphone real quick and give us your name and which board you're applying for the record so they have it. Nobody knows who you are anyway.
It's important.
I applied for planning and zoning, and about 40 years ago, I started on planning and zoning with Dolores and moved to council. And after I got on council for a couple of weeks, I said, this is boring compared to planning and zoning. There's more interest to this. So anyhow, I applied for it, and I'm making a big circle if I manage to get on there now. I hear people want to get off.
I thought about it.
He thought about it and changed their mind, but anyway.
I re-upped. I put my paperwork in.
Were you on there when he was on there?
No.
I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. So, but yes, I was.
Yeah, he's been on here a long time, but
I'm just teasing him. He always talks about he's basically.
He was with my dad.
yeah. Yeah, I've lived here 48 years, September. So anyhow, that's, I've got an application in, so if anybody wants off.
One Larry Acre.
Yeah.
Tick. Anybody else? Third row? No? Okay. Okay, regular agenda, or I'm sorry, consent agenda. Approve the meeting minutes to date. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. And all in favor? Motion passes unanimously 6-0. Okay, first regular agenda item, consideration of possible action to approve and forward with recommendations as City Council Ordinance 2025-0-01. As I understand it, we tabled this at the last meeting, and it still has some issues that need to be resolved, so we're planning to table again tonight.
That is correct. That's what staff would recommend, postponing this item, and Bobby or Tammy can cover the technical details on how to exactly do it. But the background is, at the last public hearing, we had a gentleman who was here, shared some concerns based on which staff recommended to postpone the item. And both groups haven't been able to come up with an update or a progress or a resolution on whatever the issue was, and have requested that they have some more time to work on it.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Here, Bobby, which...
Do we have an idea what meeting date we think they're going to be ready? So there's two ways you can take your action. If we knew the date, we could postpone it to that specific date. If you don't know the date, then you can postpone it with an open-ended. It'd be within 90 days, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we just need to make a motion to table this until a meeting within the next 90 days where some resolution's been.
Yeah, and then if it's, that way we can bring it back. If it's not ready, you can repostpone it.
Okay.
Can we just leave it open-ended as far as when a representative comes to represent within the next 90 days?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so make a motion to table this agenda item for up to 90 days or until
I'm sorry, we're going to do it as to postpone it, not table it.
I'm sorry, postpone.
Yeah, if you table it, you just have the 30 days.
Make a
right? You
motion
table
to
it.
postpone.
You table it, it's different, you have to postpone.
Postpone it
Postpone.
for up to 90 days or until we have more
That's
information.
fair. Yeah.
Until a representative, yeah.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor then? Motion passes 6-0. Agenda item B, consideration and possible action to approve Sunset Gardens amending plat number 1. Who would like to tell us all about that?
This is a proposed amending plat. They're amending the original plat, which included 7.39 acres. And this, the applicant is basically representatives of Meridiana Development, and the plan is to dedicate the acreage within this plat to the city based on the provisions of the PUD document that we have for Meridiana. And the plat is located, the subject site is located on the eastern side of Meridiana Parkway at the southwest corner of the intersection of Rogers Road and Wilson Drive. And the property is zoned light commercial and is part of Brazoria County MUD number 57 and Brazoria County Drainage District number 5. Staff is recommending approval with 2 conditions listed in the report. The first condition is to provide a mud tax certificate, and the second condition is to revise a particular note that's in there for more clarity. So staff is recommending approval with these 2 conditions.
Okay, thank you. Who has questions?
I'm just trying to visualize.
No? Anybody have any motions then?
Motion to approve with those 2 conditions.
Second.
And all those in favor then? Motion carries unanimously 6-0. Okay, and last 2 are some housekeeping. Consideration possible action to direct staff to provide applicants written statements of the conditions for any conditional approvals and the reasons for disapproval for any plans or plats that were not approved per Texas Local Government Code 212.0091. Make a motion to approve that. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor? And motion carries unanimously. And then agenda item D, staff update on development services. Yes, sir.
So this is a new item that you would see moving forward on every second meeting of every month. The plan and goal that staff has is to give you an idea about some of the conversations we have about development, because that is a big part of what y'all do and what y'all represent. Y'all have the word development in the name itself. So if you look at the attachment that was included, we have 4 sets of items. Number 1 is a list of pre-development meetings that we've had for the month of January. Now these are meetings we have with potential buyers of certain properties, or a design team that's doing some due diligence on a project. So some of those projects listed are not like definite projects. They could also be like just initial conversations. But what that gives you is the interest in the area that developers have or property owners have in terms of development. You'll get an idea about it, what's going on that particular month. Like for January, we have 2 groups who've approached us for a large master plan residential subdivision sort of development, and most of the conversations was about challenges related to drainage, utility, the lot size requirements that we have, and things of that sort. So it was all initial discussion. We did have a couple of 4 to be specific commercial interests, out of which 2 were warehouses. We've again given them those information. One of the property that was looked into was in the ETJ. We don't have land use control over there. So that's one piece. The second piece is the certificate of occupancies, which essentially means like these are new businesses for which who would be moving into a building or getting into a lease space within a retail strip. So this month we issued 2 certificate of occupancies. One was for Firehouse Subs, one was for Behavioral Innovation. One is on Highway 6, one is on Bailey Road. The third piece is commercial construction approvals. We have three. One is construction. The civil infrastructure construction plans were approved for two buildings in Manvel Town Center. It's right behind the Whataburger Chipotle buildings. We had the infrastructure construction plan for Rich's Car Wash, which is on Highway 6 across from Starbucks. That was approved, and the building plans are under review. I have a feeling that one of the reviews was completed today. And then the third one that you have on the list is Shops at Blue Water. It's a retail building. The construction plans were approved and building plans are under review. Now, the fourth piece is any other update that we would like to mention to you. We included two items. One was, since the city council meeting was canceled, the strategic plan that was presented, the adoption will be considered at the next meeting. And then the other item was about the PUD amendment. So the goal is so that for y'all to have a list, and if y'all have any, not to have like extensive discussions at the meeting necessarily, but if y'all have any questions, or follow-up questions even outside of the meeting, you're welcome. This would give you an understanding on what is going on, what happened this month in terms of development.
Okay, great, thank you. Anybody have any questions based on this?
On this last one that's on Scott Avenue and Cemetery Road,
What is that?
how detailed have y'all already gone into anything on the development of that? Nothing?
No details. So this on the Scott Avenue, there was like it says KB Homes. They came across the property and they just wanted to have a discussion. It was a due diligence meeting as to what are some of the challenges, what are some of the requirements, and we just gave them those feedback, and we haven't heard back anything from them. I'm not 100% sure what their plan of action is or what their goals are, and as and when we get more details, like next month, second meeting, you would get an update if anything happened on that.
Because, I mean, that's, the biggest thing concerns me is traffic's going to be bad on no matter what road we do. What's going to concern me about that property, and I don't want to say how well I know that
I'm
property.
sorry. So for the update, it truly is just an update. It's not an agenda
but I'm just
discussion item.
curious
So
how
these
you-
conversations would need to go between you and
Okay.
Joe's. And then publicly, we would need, so that the public would know that this was going to be discussed with more detail. If there were anything like that, it'd need to be an action or something on here
So, I
specific.
mean, like the canal has not been discussed is my biggest question. So,
No,
West
and
State
Joe's
Mile.
can go into more detail after the
Yeah,
meeting if
that's
you
what
have
the West State Mile
questions.
has not been discussed, so that's all I need to know. So, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get the last part about the canal, but what I was trying to say is that it was a initial due diligence meeting. Every concern that we have in terms of whatever aspects of development that's listed in our ordinances and our regulations that we apply on a regular basis was mentioned and brought up for them to consider as they move forward with due diligence and decision making and doing their feasibility study and all of that.
Excellent. Okay. The only other thing left on the agenda then is going to be adjournment. Anybody have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? And all in favor? Motion carries unanimously. 17-0. 6-0. Okay, thank you, everybody. Y'all have a great evening.